Welcome to the Blue Dragon Guild hobby vlog number 13. I have recorded several different vlogs, all of them number 13, and I haven't been able to edit them like I've wanted to. So this video is going to be kind of a combination of all of those vlogs in the intro. I've got some game updates, got some other updates, like some minis and stuff that I got. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the end. We had our D&D game this past Sunday. Last week was a little wild because it turns out Tommy, the player for Krylon, the character we're trying to revive, was not able to attend. And so from there, I kind of had to pivot my story. I kind of talked with Tommy about what he wanted me to do, how he wanted me to handle if the party did, get to the resurrection of Krylon. And he and I worked a few things out. But, Saturday night into Sunday, we had an absurd amount of snowfall. I think it was like 4.5 to 5 inches is what we ended up with here. And I'll show you this clip now. This is the weather that gets you ready for Icewind Dale. So we weren't able to meet in person. We did virtual. And Mackenzie had talked to me previously and said, "Hey man, I've had a lot going on these last few weeks. I'm sorry, but I just need some time. I need a day. I'm sorry." And it's all good. We all have a lot going on in our lives, and sometimes you need to just take a step back and reorient yourself. Not a thing wrong with that. So Dave, Walker, and I sat down virtually. We played some D&D. It was a pivot from the pivot that I worked on after Tommy said he was unable to join. But we had a lot of fun. They did discover that, yes, the scroll that they got was the Scroll of Resurrection. So, then we get into the rules of how spell scrolls work. So basically, because it's a spell on Dave's spell list, he can cast it. However, it is a 7th level spell slot, and he only has access to 4th level spells. So I think it was like 50-50 on the DC check to see if he could cast it. Like in the story, I said, Mackenzie's character, he uses the message or uses the sending spell. It says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I think I saw something. I have to go check it out. I'm sorry." That's how I wrote him out of the day's session. Sasava, Dave's character, said, "I don't really want to cast this resurrection spell and it not work. I would like, some help along with that." Omega has abilities that, can, change how things go. He's a chronergy wizard, chronomancer. I don't remember what the specific subclass is called. So but his ability is, okay, oh, I don't like that die roll, re-roll it. So there's some things there that they can do as a party to kind of manipulate their rolls in hopes that Krylon actually gets resurrected. So in the meantime, Ricky, which is Walker's character, Ricky and Sasava, they part ways with Tommy's stand-in character. So Bjorn is officially written out of the story, and yes, Bjorn Silke is the name of Tommy's stand-in druid. But they were like, "Well, what are we gonna do?" And we kind of went over some geographical things in the area, and they didn't want to leave Krylon's, corpse, his Warforged corpse, laying in the back of their wagon. So they went and they were like, "Well, let's just bury him. There's a graveyard in this town for sure." So they find the graveyard, the cemetery. Walker's character, Ricky, buys a grave plot. And they're like, "Yeah, we're going to dig it." And then Dave thinks to ask, "What time of year is it?" Well, it's winter, and they are kind of in the northern part of the continent. So it was like, all right, well, the ground's going to be frozen, so this might not work. And then Sasava has, the transmute stone. I don't know the name of the spell. Something to do with stone. I'll put the name of the spell right here. I can't remember it. But they were like, oh, well, we could just, go find a big rock and put Krylon's body in the rock and then cover the stone back over. And I don't think Walker really understood like what the spell was, which it was funny because, like in character, like it was a fun interaction because it was like, why we can't put him in a rock? That doesn't work. That's harder than the frozen ground. But yeah, it was a really fun interaction. We had a good time with it, and we ended the session with those two heading off up a little closer to the mountains, trying to find a big rock. But potentially by the next time we meet, Mackenzie will be back, and then who knows what they'll try to do. They might try and revive Krylon at that point, thus, nixing the need for a giant rock to put Krylon's body. So other than that, last week I decided that I wanted to flip-flop some things around in my room here, in my D&D space. Normally my 3D printers were sat over here by the front door, but I moved them to the other side of the room, moving all of my minis, my bigger sized minis over here, some smaller ones. And I put my 3D printers over here. Really, my main reason for wanting to do this is because, it puts the 3D printers with my painting area, and it puts my minis closer to where I'm typically getting out behind the DM table, and a little easier to access. Things are still very chaotic in here because I'm still organizing, still figuring things out, as it always is in this room. Last time I talked about my jail cells. I think I showed a couple of them, but they all got printed. And now, because Tommy's not going to be able to be here for maybe a month or two, we're pivoting from that story. It doesn't mean that story is going away. It just means it probably gets moved to later on, and we get to explore something else now. Wasn't that such a fun time talking about that game? Oh boy. But we do have our upcoming game this Sunday. I'm getting ready for that. It's gonna be interesting, and I'm looking forward to see what everything kind of plays out as. Okay, so I was gathering things up and looking at things, and all of my Christmas stuff ended up getting intermingled with stuff that I had just purchased on my own. So I'm just gonna kind of just go through it, and I'll designate whether it's Christmas or not, maybe if I remember. First up, I got this Dungeons and Lasers modular river terrain. It's literally just like river terrain. Of course, I can't get it out of the box while I'm talking. Yeah. It's river terrain on a sprue. I thought this was a really cool set. This was on my Christmas wish list, and I don't remember who got it for me. Sorry. But at some point, I will get that painted up and thrown down on the table for some modular rivers. Next up, this is something that I bought myself. It is these Critical Role Wraith Root Tree Minis. I bought 2 of them because they were on sale for 50% off. And I thought to myself, I probably wouldn't buy one of those for regular price, but I would buy 2 of them for what would be the regular price. But a treant is also a monster that I don't have. And glare. It's a pretty cool mini. Pretty excited to get some paint put on this thing. It'll serve the purpose of me having some treants. I plan to do one traditional treant, traditional looking like a tree. I don't know. But the other one I plan to do more like a Gulthias tree, a very fun vampire-inspired treant tree monster thing. If you don't know what it is, at this time, I do not remember what book it's in. I believe it's in one of the Van Richten's books, one of the Ravenloft books, or it's just in the Monster Manual. Next up, this is something else I bought. This is a Monument Hobbies Pro Acryl paint set. This is the Vince Venturella paint set. It's got some dark jade, Payne's purple, royal purple, white blue, beige red, and dark yellow green colors in there. Funny enough, those are all colors that I can't really see very well. So that will be interesting when it comes time to paint. I've used the Pro Acryl paint a few times before. I haven't formed a solid opinion on how I feel about it yet, but it's paint, so I will use it at some point. This is the the Game Master's deck of Boons and Banes. This was a Christmas gift from my mother-in-law. It's 40 game-changing cards, game-changing character-shifting cards, and a companion book for 5th edition RPG adventures. Basically, it's all these different things that you can just draw from the deck and give to your players. It's either, a boon, something that will help them, or a bane, something that will hinder them. Pretty cool little set of cards to just kind of throw a little bit of randomness in your game. I also got another deck from the same company in this same format. It's not out here. It's still in my house. My wife got me that one. I don't remember exactly what it is, so maybe I'll cut a video and splice it in here, or maybe I'll do something on it later. We'll see. Next up is this Reaper Bones Garguk Ogre Chieftain. I have several Ogre minis, but they're really fun to paint, so I said, sure, yeah, let's do that. Then I got a Citadel large painting handle for large, huge, gigantic, big ol' minis. And then one of my favorite things that I got, this is the Fantic F2 Precision Rotary Tool. It's got a drill, rotary tool, sanding disc, cutting discs. There's so many different tools all in this one thing. It's very compact. Just hit the button and it pops right out. It's got the drill bit there. When you're done, just pop it back in, put it into place, and all of the drill bits and everything are inside this. So you just pop it and boom, there's everything that it has. But when I saw this, I said, that is what I've been wanting. I think that will help do what I want it to do. I can drill the holes in the bottoms of the minis, drill the holes through the bases to connect them with a pin. So like there's just a lot that I will be able to do with this tool. The next thing I have here, Miniature Market had a really good sale on some miniatures. And I said, I want some miniatures. I have a problem. I like minis. But I got a good handful of minis, and I'm gonna dump them all out here as loudly as possible. Some of these are monsters that I did not have. Some of these are monsters that I wanted some more of. First off, I feel it's only fitting to show the Blue Dragon Wormling. Something we did not have, but definitely needed. So now I think we just need 1,000 more Blue Dragon minis, because, Blue Dragon Guild, why not? But we've got this Doomguard Rotblade. He's pretty cool looking, very kind of creepy. Got Kuatoa, because I did not have any Kuatoa. Got a Bearded Devil. I got a Babao. He's not going to focus. There he is. I got a Psionic Ashenwright, a Dwergar dude, something that will be important for our Icewind Dale game that's happening soonish, I think. I got a Hypnomogon. Yeah, that's what they're called. Just a really weird, awkward, creepy looking caster type dude. I got a really cool myconid sprout, little mushroom boy. I got a doppelganger. I simply bought this miniature just because of the name. This is a murder comet. It's from the Spelljammer books, I believe. Just murder comet. I thought it was fun. This is a Fiend Keeper frog folk. Just like a frog dude. What more do you want? It's a frog man. Then I got one of the Schwinga with a snowball. And this is a angry commoner, but he's got a torch and maybe like a weird looking chef's hat thing. Then we got a Grick Alpha. This is a Pit Fiend, one I definitely didn't have. Really, really like this dude. His mace is a little bit there. That's all right. And the detail on this guy's pretty good. And then the last one I have is a Cloud Giant of Evil Air. These dudes are from the Big Bees book. They basically are like evil cloud giant boomerang throwers. I did not have any cloud giants, and this was a very cheap option, very affordable. Do not remember how much it was, but it was cheap enough to make me say, yeah, I'll get that. So yeah, it's here. I'm excited about it. I now have to figure out a way that I can use it in a game. This book, my wonderful, beautiful, spectacular wife got me. It's a fantasy map making book. It's got some really cool stuff in here on how to draw the different things for your maps, and just different kind of maps like that if you're going to like make some props for the game, things like that. But map making is something that I really enjoy. I've got some of the maps I've made for my D&D world up here on the wall. It's a lot of fun for me, and hopefully this will help me take my map making to the next level. So thank you for watching Hobby Vlog number 13, probably. Really appreciate everyone watching these vlogs, hanging out, leaving comments, all that fun stuff. If you want more Dungeons and Dragons content, hit that subscribe button. That's not something I ask for very often. I just don't like to ask for it. Subscribe if you like what you see. We make D&D content here on the Blue Dragon Guild, somewhat, I'm going to say irregularly, but we have a lot of fun with what we do, and hopefully you join us for the ride. So thanks for watching, and until next time, keep the dice rolling.